Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Big Massive Podcast 1920-25. We're back.
And we're fresh, and we're in a great farm.
Were you drinking yesterday?
Had a couple of pints just. Home early, sir.
I'm fresh enough. Do you know what? I was just getting up for the new job, and I woke up this morning at 5:30 or something like that. Couldn't sleep again till 7:30. Hateful. Trying to tossing and turning in the bed. And
11 o'clock, I was sparked. The 7 o'clock this morning.
That's lovely. You could have lay on, could you?
Oh.
Aye?
Knackered.
No.
We're not feeling the seasonal depression. The weather's so shite too.
Shite weather, shite bank account, shite family. Do you know what happened to me? Hey, 2 nights ago.
What?
So, where was it? Where were we? We came back from somewhere. Arda went up for a wee snooze.
No way.
Right. But while she was up, I was taking down decorations. I was trying to, because Arda leave them till I come down. I said, I'll go ahead and do them. And I was doing that much. I was in the bare belly, sweating.
Aye.
Do you know one of them ones? And then I went out and tidied the kitchen. And I made dinner. But I had to go into my room a couple of times. She was like, fucking, you going to come out and wake me up? And I'm just looking at her going, oh. So I was saying, you know what I need? A bath.
All right.
So, and I was drinking, see, over Christmas I drank a night and was off a night.
Right.
Some nights I would have got on the computer with the lads and had a wee drink. Rarely wouldn't have bothered and stuff. And we had planned to go to a hotel at the weekend, so must have an order now. But anyway, this is what happened. So I was like, right, sweating. And then I had to leave the Keeley down to get the bus, and all these things were going on while Orla was sleeping. Didn't realise, you know what I mean, that I was just
of course,
trying to get things so when she gets up to, it's going to be nice and comfortable for her.
Aye. Nothing to do.
Nothing to do.
Relax. I know she's only getting up from a sleep, but then she can relax.
So I says, right, get all that. I says, I'll leave the lights for her because she likes to wind them up properly. Like she likes winding me up properly.
Just go to say.
And so, run around, did the kitchen. Kaylee then insists on a lift down to the bus while I'm on the bare belly, taking fucking tacks off the wall, sweating. And I'm like, get dressed, get her, leave her and her boyfriend down to the bus, back up, and puts on for dinner. Went upstairs. I says, fuck it, put on the immersion, I'm going to run a bath. I'm going to have a wee beer. I'm going to set up a comedy. I don't like watching stand-up. So I do that like homework.
Right.
And you know what? It was a brilliant fucking stand-up. Was your man, is it Jesselyn or something you call him? New Netflix. He's rough like.
Right.
American, good-looking fella.
I have all right.
Jesselyn or... Anyway. So that was the plan. Put the immersion on, let the water run. Threw a wee bath bomb in.
No way.
Do you know?
Treat yourself.
Treat myself. Because I was running around doing everything, and my last thing I needed to do was go into the room that gets on. So I woke her up, and she got up fucking 4 times now. You woke up, and I says I had to get stuff. I just went, fuck off. Went out, closed the door. Went downstairs. So see this phone here? My wee girl, Kovla, got me this thing for the back of it. Anybody that's just listening, it's like a wee pad you stick in the back of your phone, but it has them wee suction pads on it. Fucking great.
Right.
So you can stick it in walls and you can stick it. And so I had that, and I had the wee speaker that you can turn, because when I turn on my wee jacuzzi bath, sometimes you can't hear the phone. It's loud, like, so I get a speaker. Had it all hooked up, and stuck this beside the bath. Downstairs, doing my last wee bits and pieces before I went to get the bath. All I heard upstairs was kaplunk. No! Ran up the stairs, right? See the comedy that I was watching on Netflix? I could see it at the bottom of the bath playing. No, speaker was perfect. And even a delayed, I was like amazed at that, first of all. And then I went, what?
You were taken back a bit?
I was taken aback, so I was like, then I said to myself, waste no time. All this was going through my head while I was wasting time, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Straight hand in, pulled it out. No! Pulled it out, fucking... Fuck's sake, went into the bedroom to find a towel, and she woke up and started shouting at me. And I'm going, fuck up! So this is meant to be my wind down. The baths, fucking water everywhere, dogs running about, fucking me training downstairs, wrapped open rice. To stick my phone into the rice. Rice went everywhere. Shh. Second breath and I just went, fuck it. Dried it with a towel and went back upstairs. And it was still working. I says, fuck it, the bath's getting cold, get on it. Got in the bath, cracked open a beer, had the bath locked. Next minute, you see the fucking snip moving. Open the snub, me bear, with a beer in my hand. You drinking again, aye? Thought we weren't going to drink till we went to the hotel. I says, when did we say that? I thought you would have, like. And then I was trying to explain myself with my wee acorn rolled up. Knowing that my phone mightn't last a full comedy show. Standing with a beer. She called me a bastard, then locked the door. No, went out and you can see her locking it again. And then went away. So I'm sitting, I didn't even want the beer then. Washed myself and got out. Second, went down the stairs. We didn't speak the rest of the day.
Was the phone been alright?
Sir, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. Like it was under a bath. In the bath, immersed. And I would say for 20, 30 seconds, 25 seconds.
Something, see, we were on about the rice there. There was a day there, I was coaching one of the days at 6 o'clock, and we got back into the house at fucking 5:40. And she was like, could you set up the fire and do a couple of things? I was like, right, but like I only have like 15 minutes.
Aye.
Set up the fire. Fucking, I'd done a couple of other things.
I lit the fire that day as well. So whatever I'm going. Just tidy fire.
Lovely. Sounds class. Sounds like you're a fucking unbelievable husband.
Go ahead now.
No matches. I was like, fuck.
What do you need matches for?
They light the fire.
Why did you not have a lighter in the house?
No, we had nothing. Because we usually have the wee clicker thing, but I had bought the big long matches.
2 bits of wood you need.
She was like, could you not take Jack up? I was like, can you not send one away? And she was like, you have to be a team to buy matches. So I was like, fuck, right, Jack, get your fucking shoes on. Get the walk quicker. Up into the shop, I ran in, bought the matches.
You can't even send them in.
No, bought the matches, sir. He must have held them at the side. And he says, can I run on now? And I was like, aye. Went they runs.
I would
A
have
firework display
put him out of the house.
of matches all over the car park.
There's no point in picking them up.
So I thought about it was the big box, but it was
Oh, the long boys?
No,
Oh.
it was the big box, but the wee matches because I was sick, and then I realised about the wee match. So he went to run, but he must have been holding it to the side, and I just as he went to run, every match up in the air.
What'd you do? Get enough to light the fire.
Walked on.
Not get enough to light the fire.
I was like, pick up enough to light the fire, and away you go. Sickened, no, just shaking my head, looking at him, going,
man, this last while I've been meeting some hateful people, you know. I might bring it on myself too, but that's the hard thing about doing this shit and all. You're putting yourself out in public all the time, and we're getting the stage now where we're getting a bit more, what's the word? Not fucking famous, but notoriety.
notoriety.
Notoriety. There's dyslexia kicking on. So people are just fucking being sickening. So, but it's true. You don't have to fucking step out of your bedroom to be sickening with somebody.
They're in your house.
You get out of your bed and you go, right, good day today, and you open the bedroom door and just either stand your dog shite or the wind's late and complaining about something and it's my fault.
Or the fact that you've got the whole house ready, you're a cunt. Do you know what? This. I was standing the last day, and do you know what? You bring it up because we're on about the bath. So I was training the last day and came on stinking, covered in sweat. Needed a shower.
Yeah.
But the Waynes, and she also needed a shower. So I jump in. Don't you be wasting that water. We all need a shower. So when my Waynes and my wife need a shower,
It's a lot of waste.
they're getting clean.
Aye.
But if I'm showering,
You're wasting.
I'm wasting the water.
Yeah. And it's just,
Like, I literally be in for 2 minutes.
oh, you going to wash? It's not a massage session.
No. But I was just like, so when I'm showering, I'm wasting water. Like me getting clean's a waste.
Man, that's what I'm on about. That bath was my relaxer. I was going to do now. Soapy, suds, phone sticking up, wee beer, fucking everything set and perfect. And just before I was ready to start, open the door. No, this was already after that. I was already annoyed about that. So sitting in the bath, second, waiting for the zzz to happen to my phone. No, happened to the door. Just done. Noisy, and then leaves, locks the door. They're happy just to leave you annoyed. So that ruined my whole comfort thing.
I wonder if she was fixing the door like this.
I
Smiling.
wonder if she even feel guilty when she went downstairs and everything was clean and tidy and fire lit and dinner ready.
I would
and-
say she didn't even notice.
No. That's another thing that annoys you. You ever do something in your own bat and don't say anything about it and they don't even... Like, I've been down times in the kitchen, like fucking a storm ran through it. You tidy it up, clean it spotless, and she comes in and she goes like... Or there's one thing sitting out. You can put that away. And it was like a bomb hit it. Beforehand. Anyway, Christmas was fucking shite.
Do you know what?
Did you judge it? I don't like it, man. It's too much money.
Do you know what? It was Christmas Day or Boxing Day, I think. Her brother was over and he was just like, that's it, like, that's it all over. What the fuck is it all about? Like?
The second week off's better than the first week. Because there's nothing to do. Do you know what I mean? You've no plans, you've no fucking setting
I
up
usually
and-
love Christmas from Christmas Day on, man.
You only think it. You only think that. Every year we go, you like the idea of it. You like the idea of the feet up and the fire lit. And it's not, it's stress. Like the amount of stress that goes into a family house for people to enjoy themselves.
Aye, man. Jesus.
Like the amount of stress for people to enjoy themselves.
Because Ollie was like, oh, I must have been really good this year. Because all the presents I got. And I was like,
Nobody in my house now, there's no Santa. Anybody listening?
aye, but man, it was just, and then like there's presents lying everywhere, and you have to drive around people's houses and drop stuff off, and people are constantly calling, and I don't know, it just wasn't full of the
To buy
Christmas.
presents for people.
Man, the amount of presents people.
And then my mum moved house, had to help her move.
And then, see, from Christmas Day, I'm just looking at the decorations going, ugh, I wonder what day they're coming down.
There's just, well, half the stuff box is still in the kitchen to go upstairs.
Well, to be honest, ours actually wasn't too bad. They took down, it was...
All white.
No, it was just a painless snuff manoeuvre. We just went at it for a couple of hours and got the majority of it.
Arlo does a good thing, though, then say the kitchen roll holder, put the lights on them. So you just unravel it and the year after.
Right.
There's some difference too. I took lights down to the tree and I would say I was like 2 hours on untangling. I actually watched The Godfather, normal air. Kovla got a Hollywood fucking face desk.
Yeah.
Took me 5 hours to fucking put up. Like at least 4 now. Sweaty one in the pants in the living room. Bad form. So the day after Christmas Day, my hangover, she tortured me until I started doing it. And like I heard your man upstairs, he's not going to do it, don't ask him.
Motivational.
No, and you're like, fuck. And this is everybody's dying. No, I'm dying, like. So the fire's lit, and I says, right, give me a look at it. Man, I opened it up, and it was like, 1,000 pieces. No one of them ones. Like, it wasn't, you're like, and it says 1 hour, 2-man job. So that means if I'm them shite at maps, I'm like half a man when it comes to that stuff. You're sad, so that's
4
the 4
hours.
hours. Especially when you have to hold up that side and then run hold the other side up and then realise, oh fuck, that side's down.
Do you know what? That's kind of what wrecked my Christmas. So I woke up on Christmas Eve knackered. Christmas Eve, I was really tired. And see, about 10 o'clock, my eyes were fucking closing.
And that's when you just have to start doing the...
Man, 2 o'clock in the morning, building. And then building 2 chairs and a desk. So I started about 11, 12. Now, it only took me a couple of hours, but I didn't get to bed till 1:30. And then they were up at 6. And that was that was us up and doing things and going.
Bed at 2, up at 6.
Aye.
Ready to rock.
And then, man, like after the dinner, Christmas dinner, I was out on my feet, like.
Do you know what time we went down Christmas morning? 11.
Class. Fucking class.
Because everybody stays up late, you see. And they just sleep.
No, man, 2:30 I was up there, and then up at 6. Downstairs, drinking coffee, making bacon sandwiches, opening presents, and then it was just on the day of the mass at 10, over to the graves, down to her uncle's for soup and a beer, and then over then for dinner, and then just...
Organised fun. See, you can't organise fun.
No.
That's just the way it fucking is.
No, but usually...
I think I've got an inner hate for receiving presents, you know.
I'm not good at it either.
I'm like sickened before even to see them.
Then my brother threw me a present. I was like, we had agreed not to buy a present. I was like, oh, yours is over in the house. Call tomorrow.
Aye.
I was like, fuck.
We'd all did Secret Santa, and my man, between us and the boys and all, £60 was the
Limit.
So I got Terry a pair of nice fucking shoes, slippers, like fucking 45, and then Adidas socks, brought it up to 65 or something, and we got that. He got me a pair of tracksuit bottoms. You knew they were 15 quid, like. Do you know the Adidas with 2 stripes?
Aye.
Anybody listening, sorry for being an old bah humbug, but it just does annoy me the amount of money that it costs. I said to her, would you not want to go away? Now that the Santa thing's put to bed, let's all go somewhere next Christmas.
My mate went to Lanzarote for a month.
Do you know what I mean? It would be cheaper to go to Lanzarote for a month than spend Christmas here. For one fucking day. And the high pressure.
Agreed.
Oh, we have to keep up with the Joneses. I love the idea of the Polish one. Santa brings one toy. Made out of wood, you know what I mean? He rocking horse or something.
He rocking horse, we toy.
We soldier.
We wooden train.
Yeah, something like that. We fire engine.
Sure, man. 2 nights before Santa came, I was like, sure, your Switch is coming, you'll be able to play Roblox. I was like, I don't think you can play Roblox on Switch. I was like, well, what did you get it for then? He goes, nah, I don't want it now. Fucking, so I was lighting the fire and nearly fucking put him on it.
And Keely says her laptop's too big. We're like, going to uni, we thought bigger screen. If you want to watch movies, there's a big screen, you know. Nah, the fuck's that? And then I was telling you about Conan, he's working away. Money's going up and up and up and up. He won't pay for his haircut. We're on about that, weren't we? But now he's even like, oh, he is a Jew, like.
Aye, man.
He doesn't want to spend any money on
Should I give Ella pocket money? She was like, go and buy me a drink. I was like, and I can check in a Revolut. I was like, you have £12 there. But I want you to buy it.
Go and get a Chinese Conan says the last day. He says, no, do you know what? Go and spoil us. I says, I've hardly any money left in the bank and you're sitting there with hundreds and yours, and so Kovala's got money and they all. It was right then, we'll all chip on a tenner each. Get me a spice bag. Much are they? £10. What he's doing there is trying to get out of paying for the fucking.
Now, my Ethan knows, and the money, but he was very good though. He was over Christmas now, I have to say. Fucking.
His brothers and sisters.
His a lot of birthdays on the run up, and he was very good. And I have to say, he fucking shelled out fair play anyway.
You have a good family. You know what? Conan and Keely, the two of them are still at school. Well, Keely's in Queens, but they work like fuck. Keely do a couple of 12-hour shifts in the old bum cleaning industry.
Fuck, I don't miss that, hey.
No, we were good at it, but
do you know what? The more I think about it, you talk me into.
I think about that the odd time now. I always left. That was a job. Anybody listening? We used to work with young people with disabilities down in Dublin.
Life.
And you had to do all the personal care and all, and I got used to it. So I think I did about 7 years down there.
Aye.
So when I left for the last time, me and Blee, what happened was we were working too much. Back end, do you remember? Like me and Blee, I think Blee did something like. So anybody listening, we would work 35 hours during the week, and then if you were going down there to do a 48-hour shift, you left your work and went straight to Dublin, did 48 hours and left your. Then they would let you go sometimes on a Monday morning.
To get to your work.
To go straight to work. So Bleed, I did it 2 weeks or 3 weeks in a row and took a panic attack, remember? Bleed did it 4 times. I think you were
I was
coming up the rear there too, stats.
Literally.
But down there.
Coming up the rear with a wet wipe.
The young fella. Remember he pretended. He was great. What are you doing, sir, when you're clean as air? But, so you were like seeing young people, like, and see back, I'll tell you what, it was harder before that, because before, when you work with disability, you're not working with young people with issues, behavioural issues and stuff like that. That was our number one go-to. So I was fit for that in my 30s. Then started 40s, was getting tight. So what would have happened was during the week you were working with young people with issues, behavioural problems and all that kind of crack, and then straight down and living then with 2 or 3 with that. So every day of the week you were getting
challenging behaviours,
abuse.
I had burnout last year with
it. You do hit a burnout, and then me and Blee were one day down, and I think he was in a single bed and I was in a single bed across from each other, and one of the young people just couldn't sleep, so the noise was coming through the all night. You couldn't sleep. Where Blee went out like a lot. He just went. But the two of us were on FaceTime with our Waynes. And this was weekends and weekends. I was going, Blee, what are we doing?
I know.
I would rather shop smart rather than.
But was the driving was killing me. 3.5 hours.
You were driving the whole way down, and then sometimes you had to get up on the Monday morning, drive on down to the docks, and then go home. Like I was
So an hour on the Dublin, and
an hour and a half sometimes.
Fucking 3 hours home.
And then
Fuck, it was tight.
sometimes you called into the office on the way back just to say, here I'm away on, and they keep you there for some stupid reason. Oh, hold on. Let me just check.
Finish off your logs there. No, the driving then was getting to me. Driving in general. Do you know what? I've done so many years of driving with football and work.
This is what I'm saying too whenever people go, oh, you're flat out. And I am. But it was more taxing doing the other stuff, I think.
Oh, I would agree, yeah.
Like there's time, like I remember doing a shift one time, right? And this was probably my worst shift. So there's a house that I'd ever liked working on. And I was going down to the one that I like working on.
Yeah.
Dum-de-dum, driving down the road, dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. And I got a text about 5 minutes away from the house saying, listen, go you on down to the other house. We don't need you in this one. And I said, well, that wasn't agreed. If they had texted me when I was in the house, wouldn't it have the shift?
Yeah.
I says, right. I says, but so the other place, you're meant to start at 11, but I was going down to start at 12. And I landed down to this house, right? And it's one of them houses by a big drive up there and all, and it's just like, and I was going in, they start 48 hours. There's nothing worse. So what way, anybody listening, the way it used to work is, if me and you were doing a shift, we would come in and we would do a handover with two people that just did 48 hours.
Yeah.
And they're always in great form. Because what happens is they finish, the full-time workers do 48, 2 nights on, 48 hours, and then they have 4 nights off. So that's them finishing for 4 nights. And you're only starting at 48, so they're always in better form than you. You're always in shit form. Especially boys like us that work during the week as well. So we were doing a full-time job, 2 full-time jobs that week.
In a week?
In a week, so I was like, bad enough. And then the question is, who am I working with? Because that could ruin your fucking...
Oh, 100%. I still text ahead till this day.
Who's on? And then, no, I'm growing toenails.
And you just see the wee 3 wee dots, somebody's typing, you're like, please.
It's mad how one person can ruin your gig. And you'll get this... Like, I did a 48-hour where there's 2 different shift team managers. The first 2 24-hour shifts, so they came in, took over. First one, everything that needed to be done was done, and everybody was chilled. And then she came in the second one, and it was just hell. And it was just the same job, but a different person on top.
I used to hate opening my eyes with 24 hours done, knowing there's another 24 hours.
Well, that was the worst thing. So you landed down at 12, say, on a Friday. So you do the Friday, and then you get to your bed at 12 that night. But then when you get up in the morning at 7 o'clock, you're not stopping at 12 that night. So you've got 7 to 12.
Fucking 6. They had to be out the door by fucking 7 to be in Belfast or in Dublin. Fuck.
But that was the other one. So this is the shift they have from hell. So I walked up to this is the place I didn't want to do. And when I was walking in, the doll that was doing the handover, you know what I was saying, usually sit for an hour, do the whole... Because I was an hour late, she just fucked the keys at me. Threw them at me. There'd be no handover. And just by the way, the heating's not working, and it was like weather today, sleety, you know. I went, what's happened? Nobody's going to be here to fix the heating on Monday. And it's just walking on, says, well, what's... And then she goes, and that's it. And so I landed in, and there was a wee girl there on her first day. And I'm relief. And it was just us two, and there was 2 young people, and they just spent their weekend. Just their whole weekend was designed to really annoy us. Like they were trying to attack the wee girl. The guards were called and everything. The guards come out to me and they were cheeky to me. This is the 4th time we've been called out this weekend. No, and I said, listen, hey, you're working, I'm working. This is the protocol. This is the reckon. What do you do? What do you want me to do? Or they absconded, sorry. They disappeared, that's what it is. I was waving at them. Bye!
I know.
Take your time. Them running away on a bike. But it was... So there was no heat. There was no... and then what they did was when they came back, they sat up the 6 in the morning with the front door wide open. Snow was coming in the door. And I'm going, go on, boys, go to your bed. Nah, nah. They only went to bed when they were actually absolutely wrecked. So then you have to get up at 8 o'clock the next morning, and then they sleep all day fucking long. When you're in a 24, you don't want them sleeping all day long because you know when they get up, they're not sleeping. So they get up, they end up absconded again. I had to go in. What you do is go into the Garda station, report. Big form. Filling in this big form. And then what happened was they told me then, so the young ones then, they run a racket and then they ring you when they're done. We're ready. So I went down and they were saying, where's my bike? I says, how do I know? Well, we're not going. They ran away again. But I already was in the Garda station and got the whole form completed saying I have them here. That's what they did. They went in the Garda station waiting for me to come and get them. And then when I went in then, this is them after fucking going mental. Filled all the forms, finalised it, and when we went outside, they were cheeky to me, and I was just straight with them. I says, listen, boys, not dealing with me. Get in the car, you're going straight home. You're stopping for my bike? I says, no, I'm not. So they ran away again. But instead of me running after him, I ran into the Garda station and went, don't file away that fucking form, because you'd have to do the whole thing again. And then it was just like, and I got no sleep, there was no heat in the house. The wee girl that I was working with had to lock herself into the office the whole shift because they were trying to get an at her. Two would go round to the window and bang in the window, and the other would at the door, and I'm trying to hold them back.
Man, this is no word LA. I would say about 4 weeks ago, I was working with a young girl too, and I was on night shift. She had been on all day, and the two boys were up in their room, and I had just stuck on a film. This was about 10 o'clock, and so I'll watch this till 12 and then see what the crack is. She came bursting on the door. Now they're away. They've cleared out. What do we do? I had the remote in my hand, and I just leaned over the side of the sofa.
Running after them is what they want.
Yeah.
It doesn't help. I could nearly put them in more danger.
Yeah.
Because really...
I was like, we'll give them an hour, and then we'll report them.
Yeah.
And then the guys can look for them.
Yep.
And I just watched the film. And do you know what? It was fucking pissing. I came back after 20 minutes.
I remember running away and coming back for a coat. Ran away from home, it was freezing. I had to go back for a coat, and then they kept me. I bumped into a teacher the last day, hey. Mr. Doherty, right, he taught me in St. Mary's. He was my P4 teacher. Do you know I went to Barrack Street School first and then moved over to St. Mary's?
Why?
Didn't like Barrack Street. Or Terry didn't like Barrack Street. And then we all moved wherever he went. I think Mr. Doherty, he was a great teacher, P4 teacher.
Tommy Doherty.
He's not Tommy, no. Tommy was grips, made you grow. The sideburns. Grow! Fuck. Remember that? Mr. Doherty, what's his name? Man, he hasn't changed a bit. I was at the credit union the last day and he was out. It was Mr. Boy. I says, Mr. Doherty. I says, you were my P4 teacher.
Where'd you pull Mr. Doherty out of?
I know, because it was a full year of Mr. Doherty, you know what I mean? That's where I should know his first name, but I don't. It was I. He goes, do you remember the time I lifted you up at Newton Stewart? I said, what? You were thumbing a lift up to your dad? I says, do you know what? That wasn't me. Our Terry missed me dad, so he started thumbing the long cash when he was about 10.
Fuck.
He got his fire as Newton, and a priest found him. And then rang Doherty, and Doherty came up and collected him and brought him home.
Fuck.
And he reminded me, and I went, fuck, that's right. I says, that wasn't me, you know, I was the other brother. Wasn't that running? Well, I've been telling everybody it was you since the day I heard you. He wanted to go up and see me dad, get him out. And he was like 8, or he was in primary school, like, thumbed it. Who gave him the lift in Newton, like?
Man, we thumbed it down one time to play a football competition. About 10 or 11. I don't know if my man knew, but
I wonder if it was even.
Because I mean, the boy was drunk. I mean, he was drunk. We got from Newton Stewart to Strabane. This boy, Paul, I remember him. I can vividly see him wearing an Arsenal top and oil one, and he was stoving.
Mad.
There's 4 of us in the car.
And why did he stop? What was he thinking, like?
But sure, well, I don't know.
I
suppose there was much. See, you don't know about pedoing back then, but pedoing. Because there was no social media, or
you know what's mad back then too? If you remember the roads, you try to get the Oma, it was a whole handling, like. You had to go through Newton. There wasn't all these bypasses. It's all wee fucking rickety roads back then. So I just to remember that one. And they stopped me just before Christmas. I says, "Fuck, that's right, sir."
Do you know what, sir? we started to say nothing last night. I know we've talked about it to death, but I was telling my man and dad I watched it the last night, and he was like, "Do you remember? You know at the start where the two girls were fucking the water and battered at the Civil Rights March?
Yeah.
My man was there.
She's at that march.
They lived in Burntulla, and my granny walked them down to the march. And as they were walking down the hill, all the riders came over the hill, and they ran like
all
fuck.
the loyalists.
I mean, what do you hear this? My dad was like, "I got another one for you." Your Uncle Davy was there too. He's like, "See the front row of the loyalists? He was battering them."
He was fighting them.
No, he was the loyalist. He was leading them. It was
You're
a picture.
You're an Uncle David.
My granddad was Protestant cook,
Oh.
and he switched over to marry my granny to Catholic.
Oh, and then is that where
So half my family and around Derry and around Drumahoe. So I have there's loads of cooks there. And my dad says there's a picture in the paper of the loyalists. No, and he was the front with a big brick. My uncle
mad.
Dave.
It's mad, man, how we were all... See, I just see the whole lot as Irish. I always said that. It's just how we were... It's sort of like Zionism and Jewish. You know, we hate Zionism, we don't hate Jewishness.
No.
Do you know what I mean? There's millions of Jews that don't like Zionism. Like, you can... The big one, I think, too, is you can be an atheist Zionist. So it's not religion.
No, it's just hate.
It's a movement, you know what I mean? So that was the same as I didn't hate Protestants. That was the British establishment.
Yeah.
So all them ones that were fighting each other, like there's no way that hatred still exists the way it was. Like there was a documentary where back in somebody's getting interviewed in the 80s, and if their son had went by a Catholic, he would have disowned the son.
Aye.
I don't think that happens anymore now.
Yeah, but
There's
man,
some extremes. Like
to go down and attack Catholics in a peaceful march and beat the fuck out of them, like women, everything, just because you hate them.
Right. Scare. It's more fear than the unknown, isn't it?
And then, man, I was listening to the Blind Boy Park.
Like back then, you wouldn't have got a job. You wouldn't have got. You would never. Like I never seen a Protestant. I think there was about fucking 18. Went to the course in Derry.
It was segregated, like massively segregated.
Still is, but back then it was like no jobs, no. Do you know what I mean?
But man, like between listening to Say Nothing and watching the TV show, and then listening to the Blind Boy podcast, so he was talking about the Magdalene laundries.
Disgusting too.
And he's like trying to articulate it. He wants to do a full podcast on it and really get into it. But he was interviewing Cillian Murphy because he's in a new show, All the Small Things Like These.
That looks good, eh?
I think it's a very quiet. There's it's just
Must watch the what one
the Magdalene sisters.
No, the Shook the Barley. What are they called?
The one that shakes the barley.
Some show.
But man, he's a really good actor, man. But they were talking about the Magdalene laundries and when the film was set. The film was set in 1984.
I was going right up to them.
2006 or something. The last.
Sure. When they reckoned if they go round all them monasteries, many dead bodies would be laying. It was disgusting. Like, see, whenever partition happened, the British took over the north and the Catholic Church took over the south. Ripped their way through it. You know what I mean? Murdering Waynes, arresting wee girls that got pregnant outside of wedlock. Families would have supported it, sent you down, sold your Waynes to Americans, or killed them. This is religion, like.
So Blind Boy went to college in somewhere in Wexford, I think, or something. He said so. The university was previously a laundry, so he was all interested. And he got the caretaker to take him down, and there was a place, one of the halls, lecture halls, used to be where the chapel was. But there was all these like tunnels running underneath, and then he was asking why it was, and they were like, that's so the mothers that went to mass wouldn't see their children. They weren't allowed to see them.
Like man-made tunnels because of that.
So mothers wouldn't see their children. So the children came into mass after the mothers, and the mothers then were herded down through the tunnels so none of them would see.
Think of the greed that's involved in the Catholic Church, because the reason priests don't get married or have sex has nothing to do with the religion. It was to do with money back in the day. If we started letting them shag, they're going to have Waynes and we're going to have to pay for them. Do you know what I mean? So that shouldn't have happened. That's where the big... But you know what's... See Elon Musk going mental now on... Does Elon Musk have time? How does he have time to run all these businesses and tweet? Like, fuck. But
I'll never know.
They're saying it's all these grooming gangs over in England and Scotland and all, and they're all Muslim. But 90% of most abusers are white in the UK, statistically, like. but they just want to jump on the Muslim thing. There was Muslim gangs, and they are scumbags, but when it's a Muslim that's caught doing pedo, it's a gang. When it's white people, it's just a white person.
Yeah.
It's a person as a pedo. But Elon Musk is just fucking pure right-wing madness. He's supporting Tommy Robinson and fucking all them boys. And
But what do you hear this? This is
Twitter's a fucking cesspit, man. Get off it.
Not on it.
I make it off it.
But what do you hear this? This
Saying that
is
to my team now.
this is the kind of the thing that fucking blew me away about the fucking Magdalen Laundry. So he was like, "Have you ever heard of the game Mousetrap?" I remember
Aye,
the game
I
in
know-
the
aye,
80s,
aye.
the wee mouse ran
The
around.
marble, aye.
Aye. Well, the church had a contract with the people that made Mousetrap, and they farmed out the woman to make the games. So they were held against their will. They were factory making
Slaves.
slaves. So
Took your child off you
Aye.
at birth and then made you slave.
Aye. And then the church was making money off the slavery by making fucking Mousetrap. And they were doing like
And abuse as well, then.
aye. And like they were doing like laundries, like so they were making money from the actual laundry itself, all the
Aye.
women working there, and like
Sure,
making
they were selling the babies too to families in America, so there was it was an industry, like.
aye.
An industry, and then all the children that were brought up by no families were just getting molested by priests.
Man, just see between
Sick human.
thinking about the Magdalen laundries and Ireland in the 70s and the segregation, man, Ireland is a fucked up place.
That's why I think that there needs to be a new Ireland with new laws and an NHS and everybody coming together. It's the only way. You can't fucking you can't keep going the way it's going, and then the rich are getting richer as well.
And like this is not
That's our
fucking-
lifestyle.
Man, I was 4. That film set when I was 4.
That's 7.
Scary, man.
I didn't have me down
Scary,
there.
like when I was
was a good
born.
looking-
If I had been born
I
to the
was-
rock,
I was some looker. I would have been passed round.
do you imagine the families going through the book?
To the dungeons.
Imagine
I'll be taking shit in a dungeon somewhere. What's this for? Just keep fucking taking.
Do you imagine all the Waynes talking about abuse? And they were like, "Do you get abused?" No.
Didn't notice. Then that is abuse what happened, is it? Fuck.
No.
You know what? And
The
it's
priest-
sad.
the-
It is sad that some, like, see them two scumbag bastards that were fucking that. It's a gay couple in America, and they fostered or adopted 2 Waynes, and as soon as they got them in, they molested them and they rented them out to people, and they got 100 years each there.
Good.
2 wee
It's not
boys.
even enough. Fucking
They bought these Waynes, or they more or less brought these Waynes in for the purpose of abuse.
trafficking.
And then there's other ones, it's families themselves with their own children. So these Waynes are growing up thinking this is normal because they don't know any different. Then they realise their whole life they're getting abused. They did the stats about abuse. Like the majority of abuse happens with somebody you know, somebody that you trust, somebody that the family trusts, stuff like that there. But there is grooming gangs. But people talk about this Muslim grooming gang. What about, and they're on about King Charles should sack Stammer. The fucking English.
Keir Starmer.
He's only come into it, into the post a few months ago, and now everything's his fault. But anyway, I'm not supporting him, but just saying, what about all the pedo rings that were running about? Priests, first of all, as white as you can get.
Yeah.
But all the ones Jimmy Savile covered up,
Yeah.
they were all judges and lawyers and teachers and high-level people. Epstein Island, he's an Israeli. Mossad, he was like bringing everybody in and recording them, and nobody's ever been questioned about that. All white.
Yeah.
But now it's all these. Now if there's a Muslim gang, it's all Muslims.
Aye.
Everybody gets it.
The
But
race,
if
the
it's
race gets it.
the whole race, and then what is there, 1 billion Muslims? They're all rapists. And then you get like a Jimmy Savile who covered up so much and was covered and they let him die.
Aye.
They let him die. They did a big state funeral for him, and then it all came out.
Aye.
White people, powerful.
As white as you can get.
Oh, and then they owned all these children's homes, and I've read a few books about them. They just check your background, right? He's got no family. What room he's going to? You know what I mean?
Fuck. Horrific, sir.
What do you call that great movie De Niro was in? De Niro had to fight his conscience. They go up and lie in court True story. Sleepers, was it?
Sleepers.
When they met the abuser later on, two boys, and they ended up madmen because of the abuse.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? And then they bumped into this boy.
Well, I think that's what that new thing is. That new Cillian Murphy thing. That's kind of the film. So he owns a coal company, but he wants to like rescue girls out of the Magdalen laundries. But he's almost tied because if you owned a business or had a job in the 80s, a good business, I mean, it was all tied to the church. Like the church could fucking.
They were the government, more or less.
But he was telling, like, one of his main employers was the church or the Magdalen laundries because they were buying coal. So like he was one of the most, and she was like, you know, his wife or whoever is the female leading the character was like, you know, if you do this, if you pull these girls out, like we'll go destitute.
Right.
So it's his battle with his conscience and about doing the right thing or fucking his family. Like,
yeah, we said the same about that OBE thing. Like it's like, or the Poppy. Some people see it as. We put that out. Do you know we put that video out? I didn't know they were releasing OBEs and MBEs. Did you?
No,
we did it before that, but
I didn't. You text me. I didn't know he was getting an MBE.
There's a few in Strabane got it. A few families. Do you know what I mean? And accepted them. So I was like, "Fuck! Do they think now we're rubbing?" Do you know the way everything's going at this last while? Everything we do, people are fucking critiquing or criticising us. You would think for a bit of cracking comedy that they wouldn't bring.
Why do you think Hugo took it?
Because it's BBC for so long.
Still, but
He's the BBC.
he's from the head of the town, like.
He did an ARA CD. See ones are sharing it.
Aye, seen that. Aye. Who else?
But he's working for he's working for the British Broadcasting fucking Corporation for how long?
Still. You think they get rid of him?
The Dolans as well. There's been a few in Strabane. Wasn't the Chronicle? You're a member of the British Empire now, isn't it?
Member of the
MB,
British
Empire.
I was surprised.
Oh, people turn them on. And do you know what? It's not that you get offered them. You have to accept them before they release names.
Right.
So you get a wee... If you got a wee letter, you could say no, and it'll never even...
Come out.
Apparently you get money as well, but when you get it...
All right.
How much just before we make this decision? Mother! All of a sudden you're... Oh, great.
So me you and Blee were talking about, like, say the price of an MBE cleared your mortgage.
You're taking it, aren't you?
Just put it there, look.
My wee finger will be up every time I'm drinking tea. Aye. This is nothing against the people that class themselves British here. Or
imagine you're sitting in the health centre.
Protestants or anything.
You know the way your name comes up then in the health centre?
Do you have to go up and get the sword?
That's a knighthood.
Is it?
But imagine you're sitting in the health centre and your name comes up running by and you go up to reception, hey, that's OBE, you know what?
You would have to probably have to put it on it, don't they?
Not
The re-initials?
Not to call you up in the health centre.
It comes up in the big...
Would you change your email? Ronan Boyle, OBE at...
Whole family would disown me. There isn't as much fierceness against it now. Like, there's nobody really up in arms about Hugo.
No, I know.
It's a personal decision. Like,
it will be a personal decision for me too, yeah.
it is like Andrew Tate. I was even annoyed that I put it out and thinking if Hugo sees this, does he think I'm fucking pointing the finger at him? Like, it wasn't. It was a clip from something we did before we even knew they were doing the honours.
So,
Something different, like, so... I didn't go down that road, but no, I don't think I could. Obviously, I couldn't. You know what I mean?
What would your dad say?
He wouldn't even think I would do it.
But say you did. Say you got £200,000. Nah.
If you're going to say to me,
I have something to tell you.
I could get a granddad. Granddad.
Do you want £1,000?
What would tip it for you?
Fuck, I don't know, sir. I don't know. Could you take the abuse for 200,000? I don't think I. Fuck.
$2,500 or 2,000 or $250,000.
Yes,
$250,000. I'd take it and then start going fucking right. I took it because of the money, but then, man, until you're handed that box, that suitcase with the $2,500 or the 250 or whatever it is,
like your life
changes.
changes. Like house paid off.
Buy a wee house somewhere else.
What's the price of nationalism? $250,000.
Could you take it and then join the rah? You know what I mean? Sort of
Balance
balance it all up.
it up.
As soon as you leave,
We have on the Bible.
just as soon as you walk out the door, kneecap fucking mask on. See, they're winning all the British awards. They could get a little fucking. They could get an Oscar too. That'd be some crack. And there's a good chance too because they're down as a foreign language movie as well. There wouldn't be too many foreign language movies that as good as Kneecap.
I wouldn't think so, no.
They'll accept their wee awards, I wonder.
So they wouldn't take a fucking OBE, like.
No.
But they use it as a platform to get...
See, when you look down and break it all down, like there's people that hate Kneecap before they even listen to a word or understand what they're saying they do. Do you know what I mean? It's just they want a new Ireland. And they're allowed to promote. See, this is the thing I remember, man, when I was young, and you know, my dad was inside. If you watch the news, it was all just pro-Ulster, unionist MPs, and union like Sinn Féin when they were on, or anybody nationalist, they had actors doing their voices. So you felt guilty being a Republican. There was that guilt that you grew up with. Like, and even when you're in school, you know. When you had family inside, you were treated a wee bit different, you know, and stuff like that. So, and you're trying to understand everything because my dad went there when I was 2. My uncles were all inside. As I was growing up, we had family all in prison. So then you're watching the news, so you were like outside of your community. You didn't want to tell nobody. You still have that wee bit. I still carry a wee bit of that. That you don't want to tell anybody that you're not proud to say you're a Republican, like in front of. It just has this because. For so long, you were just told Republican evil, British are right. And then you're going up through the Thatcher and Paisley times. That's all my growing up. So everything was on TV. We were scum, earth, dirt, vermin. So I was like, they're on about my old boy, aren't they? Stuff like that. I was on about the first time I remember seen any violence was when I was 5. And the mask being kicked in the next door neighbour.
You're saying that.
They could have seen me.
Even watching,
they heard me cheering. Even
watching Say Nothing, seeing fucking Gene McConville been taken away by like 8 masked men. Tight.
Aye. All them. So I'm confused. Growing up, family inside, everywhere you look, you're the evil one.
Aye.
So you're
the problem.
You're the problem, and you're evil.
Aye.
Like you're the cause, the root cause. All this was placed on us. And so you're growing up going, what the fuck? So Kneecap now are celebrating something that should have been celebrated before without guilt. Because people are just shocked that somebody can wear their national flag. That somebody can sing in a... Like, the English tried to whitewash the Irish language out. And then it was the Presbyterians that actually kept it going. Protestants. You know what I mean? But then in the 80s and all through the Irish language, then they said it's weaponised, it's IRA
I remember
language.
Growing up, my dad wouldn't allow me to have a Celtic shirt.
There you go, do you know what I mean? Because you probably thought, turn around in the wrong street, you'll get attacked. So Celtic top, that was evil. Do you know what I mean? Being a Catholic or being a Republican, evil. Like even within the community, anybody, the big SDLP supporters and all would have frowned upon Republicans as well.
Because
you know what I mean?
They were
But they're all over here now. It's mad now because the Republicans back then don't like Sinn Féin now. And Sinn Féin now is full of all the old SDLP heads. So that's the way it sort of moved because they moved away from the war. But it was so this is why it's so shocking, I think, for unionists and all just to see Kneecap. But look at what they're doing. And then if you look at their song, Brett's Out, that means
British Army.
Or establishment.
Government.
You know what I mean? And then but nobody likes looking too deep into stuff.
Because when you boil it all down, even like watching the show last night, it's like they were all rioting for go on, just leave our country.
Leave us alone.
Just go and leave us alone. You invaded us.
Strabane now feels as I always said, it's an Irish town. Do you know what I mean? GA, fucking St. Patrick's Day, everyday life, street signs is all in Irish and stuff like that there. So it can never, I don't think it'll ever go back to that because, as I say, we were never an interface place.
Do you know what? It's interesting listening to the Free State. I don't know if I said this before, but Joe Brawley talks about how Southerners don't feel as Irish as Northerners.
And you could argue too, nobody's more British than a loyalist. Do you know what I mean? If you look at their curbs, if you look at England back in the 70s and 80s, it was all Union Jacks and all. It was all about Britain, Great Britain. Now it's just English. You know, English flags and English. Like every England match back in the day was all British flags.
Yeah.
Now it's like, so you could argue the real loyalist places are more British than the British. And then I was listening to Nolan interviewing your man Charlie, who used to be on EastEnders, or what do you call it, Coronation Street. Jim. So Jim out of Coronation Street. There's memes about him. And he was saying he was chatting to, what do you call your man? Fucking big DUP. Loves getting naked. It was them naked camps. That the English don't want us. The quicker they get rid of us, because we're more money now than we. Back then, we were like one of the integral parts of the UK. We were a port, Titanic, all that crack, you know, shipyards and all that. Now they don't need us. No. So they would rather, even the big vote there for the way things are now with the protocol and all. No.
So what do you ask? My father-in-law.
They don't want us.
My father-in-law was out with family who had friends over from England, and they were all having a drink. And your man says, "You know, why do the Irish hate the English? It's like you invaded our country and took over and stayed." And he's like, "No way."
Oh, nobody's been taught anything about the famine.
That's not our history.
They've been taught nothing. It's all been pride of England stuff. It's the same as Israelis. They grew up thinking they're right.
But this is an older man. This is a man that's 50. He was like, "No way."
Never. There's a great it's like, it must be from a podcast that's on YouTube. It's all about Irish history, mostly the north. Like, did you ever hear about the committee? The committee was all loyalists, got together, RUC, UVF, UDA, which was like the army, but it was all, and got a committee together. They took out Catholics, took out leaderships and all that there, and then they had a big Ulster resistance. Paisley, they were all in it. All the DUP, you know, red berets, the whole fucking lot, marching, and they were fighting then. They were thinking that England's fucking them over, so they're going to go for independent Ulster. That'll never last, like. But that's what they were looking for then. But everybody was updating their eyeballs. And there was nobody, like, the way, and we'll go back to what I was saying. Everybody had you convinced it was all IRA doing everything, and the reason that UVF was there was a counter-terrorist. They're still going. They're still recruiting. And that the Democratic Unionist Party were democratic. No, everything's coming out now. And then that's why the English won't let us go through all the cases of what's happened historically. They've quashed that, like, because they were involved up to their necks. They controlled everything. Every last bit. They controlled all that was going on here. They suit their needs. So I think there's a long game there. The English want rid of us. And getting to start already. Protocol, so we're sort of, even now, there's a big argument now. They're going to try and get the Irish passport office in Belfast. Unions don't want it happening, but it could happen because they reckon there's over 1 million people now in the north of the Irish passport. Loyalists are getting it because they skip a line even.
100%.
Or you can work. You can work away. You can stay more than 2 weeks anywhere in Europe. You know what I mean? So you're obviously going to take it.
We were in Ibiza there a couple of years ago. Sure, it was all Irish because none of the English can get over.
They can't get worker. It's the biggest fucking failure ever. But I can just see in Ireland. So there you go.
Up the hoods.